Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Gaur Premanandi. Maybe. Shri Gaurantai Bhagwan ki jai. So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, Ambarish Maharaj's pastime. And chapter 5 is what we are trying to understand. Durvasa Muni's life spared. Yeah, Durvasa Muni's life spared. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki. So we continue our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, and again Dhruva Maharaj's pastime. And what we have been seeing so far, first Dhruva Maharaj was offended by, Ambarish Maharaj's pastime, 9th canto. And what we have been seeing so far is first Ambarish Maharaj was offended by Durvasa Muni, says Durvasa. Ambarish Maharaj himself did not take the offense at all. But Krishna's energies, they did take the offense. Krishna's devotees, they did take the offense. Only one person did not take it as an offense, which was Srila Ambarish Maharaj himself. Rest everyone were offended by the act committed by Durvasa Muni. And something unexpected, something uncalled, and something doesn't suit a Brahmana to act like that. No? So practicing Krishna consciousness, it is a practice of heavy responsibility for every sadhaka, mm, and it is not something casual. Krishna conscious life, devotee's life is above the life of a human being. Na? Devotees like to say, okay, these are humans or humans. No, devotee life is way above human life, and as such, no comparison. Living in this human body, human form, say, just like we see in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada ji gives translation, na? Krishna is human like. Manusim tanum ashrita, avajananti mam muda, manusim tanum ashrita, bhajanti ananya manso, gyatva bhutadim avyayam. So, Krishna is human like. He's not human, human like. He's anything but human. Krishna is transcendental, complete transcendental personality altogether. So, likewise, devotees practicing Krishna consciousness, to see them as human or mere humans or humans is not a very elevated vision. So, although living in this human form of life, in this human body, but life is dictated by one's consciousness. What is one's consciousness? What is one's mood? What is one consciousness? Meaning one's internal mood, one's emotion, one's focus, one's attachment, one's definition of life, and furthermore, say. So Ambarish Maharaj did not certainly take an offense, but all the energies of Lord Shri Krishna, all devotees of Lord Shri Krishna, they definitely took that as an insult and offense, unwanted. Doesn't suit a Brahmana. We should be very careful in our dealings, not just with devotees in general, why not, na? With everyone. Friends, family members, strangers also, we should be extremely careful. And we shouldn't be disrespectful to anyone. What is the point? It doesn't suit, na? When Krishna appeared and performed his pastimes in this mortal world, he wasn't disrespectful to anyone. Anyways, but Krishna is God, say and all. And we practicing Krishna consciousness, we are trying to imbibe these godly qualities. So where the pastime stands is Durvasa Muni, Ambarish Maharaj, he did not take a step back when Durvasa Muni sent that demon to kill Ambarish Maharaj. He firmly stood in his ground, and thereupon the Sudarshan disc came about, and the disc first killed the demon and then went after the sage. And the fire, the heat of the disc was completely unbearable for the sage, and the sage ran for his life. He ran hither, thither, he ran everywhere. Uh, and finally reached to Lord Narayan, and Lord Narayan with folded hands said that sorry, I cannot help you. You have come to me for protection, but I cannot give you protection. And Lord Narayan advised the sage, well, if you want a solution, the solution is this only. Go back to Ambarish Maharaj, and pray for mercy at his lotus feet. If he forgives, then yes, it's all resolved. So the sage then walked back to Ambarish Maharaj, uh, praying for his life. And Ambarish Maharaj, such a gentle soul, what to say, a stalwart devotee, pure devotee, he was ashamed that the sage is folding hands in front of him and asking for forgiveness. He was very ashamed. And as the Brahmana was about to glorify Ambarish Maharaj could sense, okay, he's about to glorify. And Ambarish Maharaj then, he himself started glorifying Sudarshan Chakra. So he glorified the disc and he asked the disc, okay, kindly spare his life. And look the trade-off. We saw, na, yes, the trade-off Ambarish Maharaj is telling to Sudarshan Chakra, that if our family has given any charity to the proper persons, if we have performed ritualistic ceremonies and sacrifices, if we have properly carried out our occupational duties, and if we have been guided by learned brahmanas, I wish in exchange, wow, that whatever piety if I have accumulated over these years and all, and any devotional credits, in exchange, this Brahmana be freed from the burning caused by the Sudarshan Chakra. Wow. He's like, one may think, oh wow, he has given away all, he's lost all his credit, devotional credit, spiritual credit, but no, none. Rather, it doubled up. Uh, so much he got further more elevated in the eyes of Krishna. So we shouldn't worry. We shouldn't think that, okay, if I ask for this exchange sort of forgive him, forgive her, then maybe I will lose. If I'm asking for this trade of, okay, take whatever devotional service I have done and in exchange forgive him, forgive her. Oh, maybe then in future I will lose my devotional credit. And what to do if I'm stuck somewhere? Who will come to help me? Such thoughts may come in our minds, right? But not in Ambarish Maharaj's minds. Then Sukhdev Goswami said, like text 12 we saw yesterday, when the king offered prayers to the Sudarshan Chakra and Lord Vishnu, because of his prayers, the Sudarshan Chakra became peaceful and stopped burning the Brahmana known as Durvasa Muni. So let us see from text 13 onwards a bit. Samukto stragnitapena Durvasa swasti mamstata prasamsa tam urvisham prasamsam tam urvisham yunjana paramashisha. Durvasa Muni, the greatly powerful mystic, was indeed satisfied when freed from the fire of the Sudarshan Chakra. Thus he praised the qualities of Maharaj Ambarish and offered him the highest benedictions. वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुदीर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So Durvasa Muni now is very completely pacified. So this is Krishna consciousness. The cards have changed altogether. The dynamics have changed altogether. Once Durvasa Muni was seeing Ambarish Maharaj as an enemy. And Ambarish Maharaj, the king, was not at all seeing the sage as his enemy. But the sage was, the Brahmana was definitely seeing him as his enemy. And now the Brahmana has come forward to become friends with the king. The Brahmana is requesting, asking the king to be his friends. So that is Krishna consciousness. It changes the cards altogether. Don't know whether it was in time of Prabhupada or when Prabhupada had physically left this mortal world, went into eternal pastimes. In South Africa, and I believe in Durban, some representatives from the United Nations had gone to the temple in Durban, and they were very stunned with the management, with the devotees, with the morning program and how things, all programs were conducted, what the temple was doing. And some personality from the United Nations, they themselves had said that, okay, we are seeing here United Nations in action under one roof. People of different races, ethnicity, mm, say skin color and all, coming together and chanting, dancing together, feasting together, eating together, being friends, and such harmonious relationships. When they saw, they were very mesmerized. Also, I believe one United Nations person, did she or he visit Mayapur, and they had a very similar experience. Yes. So this is the formula, na? Like in this morning's Prabhupada's Bhagavatam class also we are trying to understand, right? That how the propagation of Krishna consciousness will bring people, help people in the political front, say. How it will give people this politically bring us together. It will. When the leaders are united in Krishna consciousness, definitely. What we see in one side, this United Nations flags are increasing, right? More and more countries wanting independence, or more and more internal and external conflicts between countries. And also we see in the society of devotees more and more flags, as in more and more Krishna consciousness has to be actually preached in so many places it has to be preached. Preaching is a continuous ongoing task. The mission is uh, huge. So Durvasa Muni says what? Text 14, Durvasa Muni said, "My dear king, today I have experienced the greatness of devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For although I have committed an offense, you have prayed for my good fortune." Similar is the prayer Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, right? Prabhupada's spiritual master, that let me pray for the highest benefit of my worst enemy. Again, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did not have any enemy. He did not take anyone to be his enemy. But there were people certainly who were very envious, jealous, or angry with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And they were very criticizing, very offending. But Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Maharaj, he never took offense. And this is the mood of a ideal devotee. Bhagavatam, we get these personalities, na Ambarish Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, and others. These are all ideal devotees. And Prabhupada wants us to be gentlemen, does he not? A society of gentlemen. And when we practice Krishna consciousness, someone following the four regulative principles, what? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit relationships, is becoming towards the path of being gentle. That is sanity. This is basic minimum sanity, na? For the real gentleman is taking shelter of Lord Shri Krishna, taking shelter of the devotees of Lord Shri Krishna. Furthermore, the sage says, for those who have achieved the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the master of the pure devotees, what is impossible to do and what is impossible to give up? We will be surprised when we come across good devotee association and practice Krishna consciousness. We'll be surprised or shocked of ourselves, what we were before practicing Krishna consciousness and what our thoughts or vision have become, say, after practicing Krishna consciousness. And this vision has to go further and more, further and further evolve. It has to go more and more sublime, more and more deep, more and more high, more and more concentrated in our goal of attaining Krishna Prem. Like we say in this question, what? Someone quitting Krishna consciousness after practicing for 35 years. Someone practicing Krishna consciousness, practice Krishna consciousness for say 40 years and then quit practicing Krishna consciousness. Is that shocking? Or someone taking into Krishna consciousness? In 6 months, someone took into Krishna consciousness and started practicing Krishna consciousness. What is more shocking? Someone in 6 months took into, or say in 1 month or a year, took into Krishna consciousness and started practicing very nicely. Good rules, regulations, good discipline, good mood, good attitude, good heart, good vision, good appreciation for devotees. So, someone within a year taking into Krishna consciousness, is that more shocking? Or someone quitting Krishna consciousness after practicing for 30, 40, or maybe 50 years? What is more shocking? What do you think? Any thoughts?
Hare Krishna. We hear that bhakti is sudurlabha. It's very, very rare, very difficult to attain. I would think that anybody practicing devotional service is much more shocking than somebody not.
Thank you. Yes, bhakti is sudurlabha. It is very rare, and the very fact that I am continuing to practice Krishna consciousness is very shocking. Quitting is easy now. 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, okay, still. Devi esa gunamayi mam maya duratyaya mam eva ye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that this divine energy of mine is impossible to uh, overcome unless one takes my shelter. And once one takes shelter of Krishna, then it is very easy to overcome. Very, very easy. So, Sadhu, saintly, Sant Mahatma is one who has taken shelter of the devotee of Krishna, actually, who has taken shelter of the internal energy of Krishna. So, someone practicing Krishna consciousness, someone who has taken shelter of the Lord Shri Krishna, and furthermore, who has taken shelter of the devotees of Lord Shri Krishna, nothing is as such impossible for him to give up, and nothing is impossible for him to act upon to do. Kartum akartum anyatha kartum samartha itim. So it is Krishna's energies that make happen something which is very difficult to attain, they make it very easy, sublime. And something which is very easy to do, they make it impossible to do. And otherwise, and vice versa. Also, we see now what devotees explain, understand what that someone remembering Mahaprabhu constantly, then difficult tasks become easy. And when in forgetfulness of Mahaprabhu, easy tasks become impossible to do. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim. Yat kripatam ham bande shiv guru dinataranam. Mukam karoti vachalam. A dumb person, he starts speaking eloquently. Pangum langayate girim. A lame man, he can climb mountains. How? By the mercy. Yat kripatam ham vande Shri Guru Deen Taranam. So Deen, one has to realize his Deenta in Krishna consciousness. Deenta meaning Patita Deenta, his fallen state, how low we are in love, in the matter of love in Krishna consciousness, how low we are. Krishna consciousness is full of paradox. We need to understand or experience our lowness. One who can experience his lowness will find his highness in Krishna consciousness. So Durvasa Muni is saying, text 16, what is impossible for the servants of the Lord? By the very hearing of his holy name, one is purified. O King, overlooking my offenses, you have saved my life. Thus I am very much obliged to you because you are so merciful. Expecting the return of Durvasa Muni, the king had not taken his food. Wow. Yeah. 1 year he did not yet break his fast as such. He just drank, sipped that water, and still, uh, how much time? Look now, the sage went different places in the earthly planet, then he went places in the heavenly planets. He went mountains, caves, rivers, where not? Hmm. Heavenly planets, and then furthermore, but the king and his wife, they were waiting there. Therefore, when the sage returned, the king fell at his lotus feet. Wow. Pleasing him in all respects, and fed him sumptuously. This is love, na? This is love for Lord. This is love for Ekadashi. This is love for devotee. This is sheer real humility, real culture. Look, patiently waiting, not getting disturbed. Patiently waiting for the sage to return. and no complaint. Again, no complaint. What culture? Again, no complaint. And when the sage returned, he washed his feet, made him sit, offered him first words of praise, and then requesting him to honor prasadam. Thus the king respectfully received Durvasa Muni, who, after eating varieties of palatable food, was so satisfied that with great affection he requested the king to eat also, saying, "Please take your meal." Durvasa Muni said, "I am very pleased with you, my dear king. At first I thought of you as an ordinary human being and accepted your hospitality, but later I could understand by my own intelligence that you are the most exalted devotee of the Lord. Therefore, simply by seeing you, touching your feet, and talking with you, I have been pleased and have become obliged to you. All the blessed women in the heavenly planets will continuously chant about your spotless character at every moment, and the people of this world will also chant your glories continuously." We should not try to judge or see someone from an external standpoint. Durvasa Muni, he saw the king externally, and within his head he took that king to be okay, normal king, okay, good king, normal, gentle, pious, devotee oriented king, or maybe devotee king also. But he didn't know, wow, he's this deep in his Krishna consciousness, he's this evolved, this realized, this blessed in his Krishna consciousness. And he was shaken up altogether. When we see anyone, not just devotee, when we see anyone or anything, it should actually remind us of Krishna. It should actually remind us of the beauty of Krishna. And the king, he was living in this consciousness. When he saw the sage coming, he got reminded of Krishna. The king had no complaints. He was not at all living in a complaint zone. The king was not competitive, he had no competition with anyone. He was not at all insecure. We go in competitive mode. Why? Because we feel insecurity. So we compete. Because we think, okay, resources are scarce. We feel insecurity. And if I don't compete, then I won't have it. And when we go in that zone, then complaints come about naturally, surely. But the king did not have any insecurity. For him, there was no scarce resources. Not that because he was a king, because he was a devotee, he had all mercy of Krishna in abundance. So he was seeing everything in abundance. So the king was not disturbed. Such a quality in Kali Yuga, to be not disturbed or agitated. Wow. Sukdev Goswami, Shri Sukdev Goswami continued, thus being satisfied in all respects, the great mystic Durvasa took permission and left, continuously glorifying the king. Through the skyways he went to Brahmaloka, which is devoid of agnostics and dry philosophical speculators. This is how we should be. One never leaves, say, Karuna Bhavan. One never leaves Vrindavan. One never leaves Vaikuntha. One never leaves Karuna Bhavan. If at all, if one physically also distances somewhat from Karuna Bhavan, it is to glorify Karuna Bhavan. It is to glorify the deities, the temple, the devotees. So we never leave. And one can never leave Krishna consciousness also. How can one leave? No. Maybe a pause, a slight pause or a gap, not actively practicing, but one cannot leave. So the sage, he then went ahead in his journey, in his schedule, and he was completely in awe, reverence, glorifying the king. So for us also, wherever we live, wherever we go, whatever we do, we should be glorifying the Lord and His devotees. And it doesn't come just like that, na. It should be our natural position, but because we are not in our original pure Krishna consciousness, it is not at all natural for us. For many, it can be very unnatural to glorify someone. For many, it can be very unnatural or very difficult to see the beauty in someone. But as practicing Krishna consciousness, we have to learn this art of glorifying. And when we glorify devotees, when we see, that is real devotion, na? Seeing the devotion in other devotees. How devoted they are, how dedicated they are. That is devotion. It is a fact, dedication leads to devotion. There is a saying, na, karat karat abhyaste jarmati hot sujan. By regular practice and our jadmati meaning what? This matter intelligence, matter buddhi, material intelligence. We have to transform it to spiritual intelligence altogether. So dedication definitely leads to devotion, and it is very heartwarming to see, say, friends coming to stay in Karuna Bhavan for weeks, months, and again returning to stay in Karuna Bhavan, second stint and all, and attending the morning program, coming to the morning program, doing japa. And if someone doesn't cannot manage to attend to the morning program for some reason, then they voluntarily choose to do more seva that day, to cover up that time. So it is very good to express this desire to Krishna, na, that for some reason I couldn't attend the morning program today, the Mangal Arati, but I cannot offset. I cannot. This cannot be compensated. But if I'm doing 4 rounds of japa daily, I will do 6 rounds or 8 rounds. And not to show that, okay, I'm trying to adjust, or Krishna, this is the deal. I was not in the morning for 45 minutes or 1 hour or whatever time. So I will do japa in the evening time or during the daytime so that it balances out. No. What we do in Krishna consciousness, japa, reading, hearing, and all, it is not to balance out. Okay, I have not done much hearing today, so I will balance it out by doing some reading, or balance it out by doing some japa. No, it doesn't work actually like that. But the mood is good, na? The attitude is so good. And temple is what? It's providing a platform, a facility, an arrangement for people to come along and live together in a community, like-minded, and develop this like-minded vision of loving and serving together. So Krishna likes this sort of attitude. It is not again the uh, how many rounds is one doing that as such defines one's advancement. Of course, it is Kirtanya Sadahari. We want to chant throughout. Hmm? But the mood is extremely important. Na? The attitude, the mood we show. And no one can ever do extra rounds that I will be doing extra japa or extra rounds. No. But it is to show some, okay, I really want to, I couldn't come to the morning program. So now I will give more time today, I will be more disciplined today. And this is how dedication will then lead to devotion. One day it has to go our natural uh, proclivity, it has to become, say, our natural. It is our second nature for now to practice Krishna consciousness. It is our second nature to glorify someone. But one day it has to become our first nature. So Ambarish Maharaj, we see this is what, and again an example of what? Spontaneous loving devotional service. Ambarish Maharaj is doing spontaneous bhakti, na? The sage coming on the scene was spontaneous. The sage going for to the river to take a bath and return, everything was spontaneous. And Ambarish Maharaj's response also spontaneous. This is spontaneous love. Ambarish Maharaj is in continuous love with Krishna. 23 says, Durvasa Muni had left the place of Maharaj Ambarish, and as long as he had not returned for 1 complete year, the king had fasted, maintaining himself simply by drinking water. After 1 year, when Durvasa Muni had returned, King Ambarish sumptuously fed him all varieties of pure food, and then he himself also ate. Wow. When the king saw that the Brahmana Durvasa Muni had been released from the great danger of being burnt, he could understand that by the grace of the Lord he himself was also powerful, but he did not take any credit, for everything had been done by the Lord. Beautiful, na? Uh, Prabhupada, we see in his interviews and recordings and teachings and classes and conversations, and furthermore, whenever he was praised for his work for spreading Krishna consciousness in the Western world, in the Eastern world, everything, bringing about this culture of Krishna consciousness, I believe Prabhupada had two replies. I did nothing. My Guru Maharaj did all of this. It is the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and these young American European boys and girls helped. My Guru Maharaj sent these dedicated, sincere young European American boys and girls to help the mission of Mahaprabhu. I did nothing. That is Prabhupada's mood. Or some places, what does he say? That if at all okay, if at all I have any credit, it is that I did not change anything. I did not manufacture anything. I did not bring my own theory, own agenda. No. I just allowed myself to be used by Krishna. Prabhupada says, no, what? I am not writing. Krishna is dictating, I am writing. Krishna is holding my right hand and making me write. So that, for him, he did not have any credit. Prabhupada did never take any credit, took any credit. And this is the attitude of a sadhaka, na? Not wanting any credit. All credit to Guru and Gaurang, and if anything wrong, then yes, it is my personal, my responsibility. I made the mistake. And even though not wrong, we should still consider ourselves to be wrong, say. Ambarish Maharaj was not wrong at all, but he took it upon him, okay, maybe I would have done something, I must have upset him. In this way, because of devotional service, text 25, in this way, because of devotional service, Maharaj Ambarish, who was endowed with varieties of transcendental qualities, was completely aware of Brahman, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus he executed devotional service perfectly. Because of his devotion, he thought even the topmost planet of this material world no better than the hellish planets. We see na same in Bhagavatam 6th canto, Chitraketu's pastimes. In Chitraketu's pastime, Lord Shiva tells this to Parvati. Narayana parasarve, na kutaschena bibhyati. Narayana parasarve. Those who are sheltered or surrendered by Lord Narayan. Na kutaschena bibhyati. They do not have any fear of wherever they are being put. Swarga, Apavarga, Narkeshu. Put them in heavenly planets or beyond the heavenly planets or in hellish planets. Api Tulyartha Darshina. They do not compare, they do not measure. They are indifferent. They are equal to whatever treatment you give it to them. This is how we should be living now. Reading all this begs us this question again and again. What is that quality or emotion which is so desired, which is a must in material life, but it is a completely unwanted. It is a garbage in spiritual life, in pure Krishna consciousness. One quality which is a heavily desired uh, to come into Krishna consciousness, to be Krishna conscious, to understand Krishna consciousness, this quality is a must. But to further advance in Krishna consciousness, this very same quality becomes a curse. So, what is that quality which is a blessing in material life, but the very same quality is a curse in pure Krishna consciousness? So, devotees of Narayan, they are not fearful of any situations, conditions. They are just after service. They want to please the Lord. They are looking for devotee association only. We should always be looking for devotee association only. More and more training, more and more association, more and more inspiration. Not, this should never be the mood, what is there for me in it? What do I get out of it? No. Like sometimes we've seen, even in societal relationships, uh, to respect the relationship, children, they don't tell anything to their parents, or parents don't tell their children, because they love the relationship like that. That no, I don't tell this to my mom, she will be upset, or it will trouble her, it will give her, say, some sort of headache. So this is how we should be practicing Krishna consciousness. We should not speak anything to Krishna, which is like, okay, Krishna will not like this. Just like children sometimes, no, mother won't like this, I won't do it this way. Mother won't like it. So likewise for us, no, devotees won't like this, Krishna won't like this. So I must not ask for any benefits for myself. Sri Sukdev Goswami continued. Okay, Pip can read translation.
Hare Krishna. Srila Shukadev Goswami continued. Thereafter, because of his advanced position in devotional life, Maharaj Ambarisa, who no longer desired to live with material things, retired from active family life. He divided his property among his sons, who were equally as qualified, and he himself took the order of Vanaprastha and went to the forest to concentrate his mind fully upon Vasudeva. Anyone who chants this narration, or even thinks of this narration about the activities of Maharaj Ambarisa, certainly becomes a pure devotee of the Lord. By the grace of the Lord, those who hear about the activities of Maharaj Ambarisa, the great devotee, certainly become liberated or become devotees without delay.
Haribol. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 9th canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Durvasa Muni's Life Spared. Any questions or any reflections?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. There's maybe just one thing as we were reading today that kind of struck me, and I'd like you to maybe highlight a bit. Maybe I'm just reading into something, but in text 20, Durvasa Muni said, I am very pleased with you, my dear king. At first I thought of you as an ordinary human being and accepted your hospitality, but later I could understand by my own intelligence that you are the most exalted devotee of the Lord. Is this by my own intelligence? It just kind of stood out to me. If you could maybe go further into this, please.
It can mean quite a few things now. By my Atma Medasa. Atithyenatma Medasa. Shloka says na. Medasa is intelligence, by my own intelligence, as in the intelligence of the soul, intelligence of the spiritual intelligence. So my spiritual intelligence, or now that I've been blessed by Lord Narayan to have this spiritual understanding, to have this spiritual vision, I can see how exalted you are. Now that I've gone through this ordeal and all, so own intelligence, like Bhagavad Gita 3:43, see the translation there. Evam Bhagavad Gita 3:43. Krishna gives beautiful reply response, ultimate to Arjuna's question. Arjuna says, "No, what is that force which is impelling one to commit sins in this world, even though unwillingly?" Evam buddhi param buddhva. Read the translation when you have it.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind, and intelligence, O mighty armed Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust.
By deliberate the spiritual endeavor, or by one's settled spiritual intelligence and all. The source of which is Krishna, the source of which is devotion to Lord Shri Krishna. Durvasa Muni also, no, by my own intelligence, the source of which finds in Lord Shri Krishna. So he, having gone through this ordeal, say, and hearing from Lord Narayan, he is now understanding, through my spiritual intelligence. But this is a thing with jnanis, mystics and all, with yogis, that they are too stuck up in the head. They are not stuck up in the heart. And we want to be stuck up in the heart, not much in the head. That okay, my consciousness, through my consciousness, I can read this. It's all very intelligence driven. What we want is proper Swarup Jagriti. Meaning what? Proper awakening of spiritual consciousness, spiritual identity. Real proper awakening of one's spiritual identity, which will happen when we have heart awakening, awakening in the heart. Not enlightenment. This world is after enlightenment. Oh, he's an enlightened being, he has attained enlightenment. It's very fascinating. But enlightenment is coming into some clarity now. It's intelligence deep only, enlightenment. That yes, I have got some spiritual vision now. There has been some spiritual awakening, say, or enlightening. But what we want is a awakening in the heart proper. That the heart to open up altogether. So by one's own intelligence, Durvasa Muni is still a yogina, still a jnani, a mystic. And it's very difficult to get rid of old habits. Old habits die hard, as they say. It's very difficult to give up conditioning and all. The only conditioning allowed in Krishna consciousness is conditioning of love. That is the only conditioning we want to have. Loving sentiments with devotees. But here, by my own intelligence, by my spiritual intelligence, through my pure spiritual intelligence, Durvasa Muni was blessed enough to at least realize and see how great the king is. He couldn't possibly gauge or measure like how pure the king is, but at least he is some real transcendental personality. And this is the difference between Jnani and a Bhakta. Na? Huge difference between a mystic, Jnani or yogi and a Bhakta. A devotee is not after any such mysticism, he is only after loving relationship with Krishna. So there is this thing. Uh, all other streams of spirituality, actually we see they are more of self-appraisal. Self-appraisal, how do I rise in consciousness and all. In Krishna consciousness is all about Krishna appraisal. How can I have more and more appraisal for Krishna and his devotees in my consciousness? That is advancement in Krishna consciousness. That is advancement in spirituality proper. But we also see there are many who are after self-appraisal. How do I become enlightened? How do I become this and that? No. We are not after gaining any siddhis, perfections, or any mystic powers or anything. No. We are only after darshan of Krishna and service of Krishna. Does this somewhat answer? Let us do some kirtan maybe. Now Durvasa Muni's life is spared. We do some kirtan. परम करुणा पहो दुई जन निताई गौर चंद्र परम परम करुणा पहो दुई जन निताई गौर चंद्र सब अवतार सार शिरोमणि केवल आनंद कंद 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 भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास को रे भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास को रे भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास को रे भजो भजो भाई चैतन्य निताई सुदृढ़ विश्वास को रे विषय छाड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि विषय छाड़िया सिर से मजिया मुखे बोलो हरि हरि विषय छाड़िया सिर से मजिया बोलो हरि हरि विषय छाड़िया सिर से मजिया बोलो हरि हरि देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई हे दयाल दाता देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन दाता देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन नाई एमन दयाल दाता देखो रे भाई त्रिभुवन पशु पाखी जूरे पासन विदारे सुनि जर गुण गाथा पशु पाखी जूरे पासन विदारे गुण गाथा पशु पाखी जूरे पासन विदारे निजार गुण गाथा पशु पक्षी चोरे बसना बिदारे चंद्र गुण गाथा संसारे माजिया रोहिणी कोरिया हे बदनाई लो आशा 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 अपना करम बुझाए समान कहो ये लोचन दासा अपना करम बुझाए समान कहो ये लोचन दासा अपना करम बुझाए समान कहो ये लोचन दाता अपना करम बुझाए समान कहो ये लोचन दाता परम करुणा बहुत विचार निसाई गौर चंद्र परम करुणा बहुत विचार निसाई गौर चंद्र हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Guru Deva, Srila Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Srila Guru. Jai Gaur Premanand. Hariho. Srila Ambarisa Maharaj ki jai. So, this is Srimad Bhagavatam, endless, na? Endless. uninterrupted, endless, uninterrupted flow of love actually we see in Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam Prem Bhakti Prasud, Prem Bhakti Udgar Updesh help us come in this culture of your loving devotional service to understand, adopt this culture, come to our original consciousness, revive our original consciousness, come to our original loving consciousness of spontaneous loving devotional service towards Lord Shri Krishna. In Ambarisa Maharaj we see he is performing spontaneous loving devotional service. Such humility. So this is what we aspire to develop. Thank you for your kind encouragement, participation, encouragement and inspiration, for helping us continue in this practice of Krishna consciousness, for helping us explore Krishna consciousness furthermore. Kindly continue blessing us. Pray that I someday become student of Srimad Bhagavatam and never remain a student of Srimad Bhagavatam. Pray that by your blessings I be the first listener of this message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And genuinely, of course, seriously, genuinely, meaningly, I'm sure during this course of study, something would have come out from this mouth which is a bit cutting, offending, hurting, upsetting. But in all seriousness, it's a bit too late. What is said is already said. Much cannot be done about it. And those who know me, they know me anyways. And those who don't know me, it's their bad luck, I would say. Thank you for your kind encouragement and participation. We can never say, okay, we completed or done this Srimad Bhagavatam or this. It's ever growing, na? Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. It's ever growing. The pastimes of Lord Shri Krishna are eternal, they are eternally happening. We just need to connect ourselves from this realm of temporariness, from this realm of duality, to the realm of eternity altogether. So, thank you very much seriously for your encouragement and continue blessing us. Prantara Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. I'd just like to say momentarily that thank you very much for you. Ishish Prabhu has been at Karuna Bhava now for the past 2 years, 2.5 years, something like this. And every night, like clockwork, he's been here in the temple, talking Bhagavad Gita, Dhruva Maharaj, Nectar of Instruction, Ambarisa Maharaj, a very inspiring devotee. I met here the first day I got to Karuna Bhavan, and a big inspiration for me, my devotional service. So thank you, Prabhu. A powerhouse, one could say. Hare Krishna. Bhakti Shish Prabhu ki Jai.